Good morning, all. Good morning. Today we're going to learn about GKE and SSL with IaC and deploying HTTPS app with LetsEncrypt on K8S. Uh, Welcome to Agile Guru. My name is Gurumurthy Raghupati, but people call me Guru. And today we're going to learn, as I mentioned, GKE and SSL. Good morning, all. Good morning. Today we're going to learn about and deploying HTTPS app with its encrypt on K8S. I hope to make you join. We will start in round about 2 minutes. So if everyone is ready, if you can do me a hello or good morning on the channel or good afternoon for people who are logged in from India, that would be really great. So please say hello. We will wait for a couple of more minutes before we start, and to make sure that everyone joins. So today, as I mentioned, we are going to learn about GKE. GKE stands for Google Kubernetes Engine, and SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer, which is the primary protocol for HTTPS, and IaC stands for Infrastructure as Code. Today will be a very good demo oriented session, and at the end I will be sharing the code and the tutorial on how to do this on your own GKE, and all this is done for you for free. So please share this with other people and enjoy. Right, I think we should start. It's 3 minutes past. So, welcome again. Welcome again. So, the agenda today is the why part. The why is why use K8S for deploying application. K8S stands for Kubernetes, of course. And why use LetsEncrypt certificate authority as your SSL provider. The how to deploy a Kubernetes scalable cluster using IaC, how to use LetsEncrypt certificate authority client server and client work. And then it will be a full on demo, deploying a K8S cluster using Terraform and deploying Kcert and sample application. Okay, to start off, what I'm going to do is do the initial deploy bit because it takes 10-15 minutes, so it does happens in the background. So I'm going to do the Terraform bit. Terraform apply, so that whilst I go through, something happens in the background and you will see a new cluster being created here. So you will have a demo cluster which is being created here. So I will say yes, and then we can go back to our code. Yeah, and let's see if it's going to do that. Yes, it started creating. It will create in the background. So if you can see my screen properly, please, if you can say yes or no, that would be really great. And at the end, after this demo, which will last for around about 30 to 40 minutes, we can have more people joining us, and we can have a live session. So if you have any questions, please ask here, and we will be joined by Akshay a little bit later. He's coming back from, he has become an uncle. Congratulations on that, and he will help us on moderating. Till then, please stand by. So continuing the why part. Now, why should I use Kubernetes for apps? Why can't I use a simple VM and deploy my own apps and those things? We will look at two perspectives. One is from an application perspective. Now we see if you deploy an app onto a VM, you have to deploy all the packages and all those things. So we don't want to do that. So we will containerize based application. And once you have containerized your applications, you can configure it using just plain YAML files or what we call declarative manifest files. And given that it's a CLI tool, or you can use some GUI, which I don't really want you to do. So it is very CI/CD friendly and cloud friendly because Kubernetes is supported by all major cloud providers like Google, AWS, and also other people, right? Now, we will look at from an infrastructure perspective. One thing is you can set up a lot of things, for example, health checks and all those things, rather than you manually doing it, put it past as part of a declarative manifest and make it scalable. You can say if the CPU is 80%, just make it into one more instance rather than manually doing it. And Kubernetes can be deployed on-prem as well. Of course, it's cloud friendly, but you can deploy it on a bunch of servers on a cluster which is inside your on-prem. Doesn't cost you anything. And of course, it is cost effective because you can scale up and down the cluster, the node pools and everything without much effect. And it can be in a cloud, you can use preemptive and all those things. I'll come to that in a bit. Now, once a Kubernetes is installed, we are looking at the second topic, which is LetsEncrypt SSL, right? Why use LetsEncrypt, the implementation tool? Thing is, normally if you go to some SSL providers, you have to provide a lot of things to do and upload CSRs and all those things, which is a pain. You don't need to do this with LetsEncrypt. They have CLI tools. You can say do this, and it will generate all the things. And it has two methods of implementation. One is a DNS authorization and other is web server authorization. Well, if you know that for a company, for any certificate authority to give you a certificate, they need some validation that you either own the domain in some way or a subdomain. So LetsEncrypt uses either DNS, because you own the DNS, you should be able to set some data and you will be able to do it, or deploy a web app with some metadata in it so that you will know something. And thank you, Mr. Akshay, for joining. And please, can you look after the chat window? If we have any questions, we can help me out on that one. You okay with that, Akshay? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So, and then the next one is it also provides you LetsEncrypt for certificates using single and wildcards. For example, if you have a single host, you can do that, or you can have for star.agileguru.org, something like that. Now, once you how know the implementation works, the consumption bit is it is supported by all browsers. So if you look at a lot of websites now, more than 10 million to be honest, are supported by all browsers. LetsEncrypt can wear, and it is supported by all OS as well. For example, if you have client certificates and all those things, it's all supported by Linux, Windows, Mac, and everything. The best part is it is free of cost and scalable. You can generate as many as you want. That is variable. Yes, SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer, which is the protocol which is used when you type in HTTPS on your browser. So yes, SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer, which is the protocol used for HTTPS on your. So for example, here, if you look at the website, it says HTTPS connection is secure, and it tells you the certificate is valid. And this is how it works. So HTTPS, right? And then one thing is, because it's CLI tool and everything, you don't need to provide anything and upload anywhere. It is automated provisioning. Now, how to deploy a Kubernetes cluster? Now, one thing you can do is you have to plan a little bit, right? Now, have two or more. This is very much cloud specific, but if you are on-prem, then you have control of over all your machines which you have purchased already. Then it is different, but I'm looking it from a cloud perspective. Have two or more pools. For example, one is a fixed pool and one is preemptible pool. And then install an Ingress controller. An Ingress controller is nothing but when you say I'm trying to deploy a website or any web thing, what is the mapping between a host name and a path to an internal service which you have deployed, an app, something like that. For example, if I hit kcert.agileguru.org, go to a two-term service. Can you zoom above the search bar? Okay, I can't at the minute. I will do that later. Okay, but just click on something and you will be able to see it. You can host any website and go to youtube.com and click on the padlock and you should be able to see it. Right? And how to plan is keep your configurations very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Manifest should be very thing to do. For example, you can have more than one or two fixed or preemptible pools. I'll show them. I'm waiting for it to be provisioned at the minute. I'm clicking on this one and it's being created and I'll show you how it works. And then our preemptables are pools where you can run workloads which are tolerant to failures. For example, some jobs which go and updates a database or something like that. And also on K8S, you get a lot of observability tools like Kiali or Itch.io and lots of monitoring tools. And especially on cloud providers, all the logging and everything happens automatically. So you don't have to sit and configure those things. The next one is your deployment and management tools. For example, you can use Helm charts, which is what we're going to use today to deploy the Ingress controller. I will create separate videos on Helm and deployment tools and management tools. It is way beyond the scope of this video. Now, you may see, oh, how does this LetsEncrypt work? As I mentioned, there are two ways to do it. One is the DNS authorization, where when you want to create using a CLI or what we call a bot or what we call a CLI tool, it's called cert bot. You install that and you execute some command. It will ask you to set up a DNS text record in your DNS provider. For example, it may have something like this. You have to create a DNS text record, which looks like something like this Acme challenge. Once you create this, I'll zoom it up a little bit. I hope this is. Akshay, can you confirm if you're able to see my screen on my DNS provider?
You can zoom a little bit.
Yeah, I have zoomed up a little bit. Let me know. Yeah, how's this? I think this should be okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Now, once you set up the DNS, it will automatically confirm that you own the domain because the DNS is owned by normally a domain, which you are the owner, and it will give you the certificate. The other way, the web server way, this is what we're going to use today, is you set up your website with a special agent which will set up a dynamic content in a well-known place so that LetsEncrypt will come there and check if that is what is it's expecting. It will automatically generate it is for you. This is just to think. Always go to letsencrypt.org and you can find more details about it. Let's Encrypt. So just search for letsencrypt.org and you get all the details. As you see, all these companies are helping this one. It's totally free, it's capable. Oh, I was wrong. It's 300 million websites now. So, which is a good thing, right? So, and that's what it is. And now comes the demo part. We are waiting for the dev cluster to be created, and we are waiting for the same. Okay, till this is created, do we have any questions in the chat window?
Yes, we have one question. Naomi is asking what is HLS?
SSL, as I mentioned, is secure socket layer, which is the protocol which is used when you want to deploy any HTTPS website. Remember, if you have a host which does not have HTTPS, normally browser thinks that it's unsafe. When you submit your data, it will say, hey, this is not safe. Are you sure you want to do it? And once you use HTTPS or SSL, what will happen is it will be secure, it will be encrypted. So the only people who will be able to take this data is the website, and there will be no middleman, and also you. So, for example, all the banks and almost every website nowadays has to have SSL, or else browser starts to complain. Do you have any other questions on the chat?
No, only us.
Okay, cool. Right. So looks like uh, the uh, the cluster has been created. So let me pull the window. So if you see my dev Kubernetes cluster, which one I created here, which mentioned dev K8S cluster, has been created. So now what I'm going to do is connect to this one. So let me, okay, connect. This is specific to GKE, but don't worry about it too much. So here I am, and I'll do this command. And here I am connected to a Kubernetes cluster. So kubectl get nodes. Let's see what happens. And I have 6 nodes here. Let's confirm it is the same. Yes, it is the same. It's 6 clusters. And as I mentioned, there is I have created two node pools. One is general, which is not preemptible, and you should be able to, this will remain. This will not be pulled up by Google. But the other one, which is what I have called spot, if you see, the provisioning model is preemptible. So make sure that you only run applications which are capable, which are fail tolerant to be run here, so that you don't have to pay. Because for the spot instance, if you don't use it, you don't have to pay for it, right? And we are waiting for it to be provisioned. Is it? I think it should be up. Let me check. Yes. Okay, let me click on the clusters. I think we have to wait for a couple of minutes. Let me see if it's kubectl get nodes. Yes, it is ready. So now comes the second part, which is installing the Ingress controller, which I'm going to do from here. So I have created a tutorial on how to do this, and you have to just follow this instruction. The source code will be given to you a little bit later. So I'm going to just execute this command, helm install nginx controller. Whilst it does that, let's look at how many load balancers I have. I don't have any. So this nginx controller will automatically create an Ingress controller and a load balancer, which will allow you to have an HTTP/HTTPS connection. Do you have any questions here? Akshay?
No question.
Okay. We have to wait for some time to be provisioned. Okay, looks like we have to wait for some time to get the nodes ready. Looks like the provisioning is taking more time. What I will do is I will use the demo cluster because of time constraints. So I'm going to do is use the other cluster, and I'll go kubectl get nodes. Let's see if it works. Yeah, this one is working. This has 3 nodes already, so this should be more than enough to install the Helm charts. So let's see if I have any load balances to install. Nope. So which is good. So I'm going to use the Helm command to execute it again. Whilst we do that, once this is installed, you will see that there will automatically, it will provision a load balancer, which will give you the IP address. Once you know the IP address, what you have to do is set up the DNS properly. So which we will do in a minute. Let's see once this is installed. Let me see if it's installed. Taking a bit of time. Yes, it is done. So if you look at a load balancer, yes, it has created an NLP, right? Address is 10 dot some. So let's see what is the IP address. This is the IP address 10.175, right? So if I go and hit this IP address, it will take some time to come up. In the meantime, I will deploy the application. So if you look at the tutorial, we have to execute some commands. So let's do this. And then to find out what is the actual IP address of your load balancer, you can execute this command to do that. And the IP address, as I said, was this one, 10.104.175.175, which is what it is. Actually, it's telling, but it's taking a bit of time to deploy, which is fine. In the meantime, we will deploy our Kubernetes Kcert provider. Yes, we will be sharing the code after this one, and I'll make this as public for sure, Naeem. So what you're going to do is execute this command, which will allow you to implement this something called a Kcert. A Kcert is a tool which is provided by this one. Now, if you see, the Ingress controller is up and running, but it is not secure because we have only HTTP. But if I type in HTTP, HTTPS, it will tell me that it's not safe, it's not secure, because the certificate is provided by sorry, I'm not able to zoom, but this one tells that it is a Kubernetes provided Ingress controller fake certificate, which is, of course, if you deploy a website on that one, it will never work. But at least we know that we are using an Nginx controller. So till now, this is okay. And I will zoom up a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is deploy the application, which is here. And if you want to know the code, it is a standard application. That is nothing. I'm using a two-term hello world to do this. And I'm also executing this one. I will share the source code, and this will how it will do it. So let's go to the README, and every instruction is given here in the tutorial. Please use it and let us know. So kubectl app, and then you just create the ingress, and then you get the secrets. And you see it has already created the secrets. And let's look at the kubectl get pods -a. And if you see this, let's look at this one, kubectl logs -f -n Kcert. See, it is already handling the certificate and creating the host for this well, and it'll automatically do it. You don't have to do anything. It'll automatically, if you create one more ingress, like say Akshay or something like that, it will do it for you, right? So it's waiting. So what you have to do for this to work is a DNS entry, which of course I have forgot. So what I'm going to do is delete it, kubectl delete -f app, and kubectl delete Kcert, delete -f Kcert, because I have to set up the DNS first, which of course I forgot. My mistake. So what was the service IP address? This was the IP address, so I have to set up the DNS. So I will go to my DNS, which is presenter view. No, that one. No, yeah, that one. So I will go to my DNS management, and I'll go to my first one and go for the Kcert, which is an A record. I will edit it and set up this one, and I will say save, and it's updating my domain name, which is called kcert.agileguru.org, and I need to find out, so which is equivalent to the ingress which you're typing. So let's see what is the IP address. NS lookup Kcert, and it is actually valid, you see. So both are same now. So now if I type in kcert.agileguru.org here, it shows me that the certificate is valid, connection is secure, but I have to deploy an application. So kubectl create -f Kcert, and kubectl create -f app. Let me check the service. Kubectl get pods -a, and all of them are running. So kubectl create -f app. So it has created the service and it has created the ingress. Now if I hit the website, you should see a totem, this one. Okay, here you go. Oh, sorry, in this one, my mistake. Here you go. So here is the code, and I'll share the code, don't worry about that part, the TPP, Mr. TPP, or the positive peach, right? And this is what it is. So let's see if my application worked. Hey, it's up and running. So now if you see the hello world, and this is what was expecting. So coming back to this one, we created a cluster and we created an Nginx controller. We updated the DNS for our Kcert thing, which was 35 below. Now it is different. We have updated the DNS record so that when someone hits kcert.agileguru.org, it will hit the proper IP address or the load balancer IP. And this IP address should match the one which was created by the Ingress controller. And how do I find out? You go to your what do you say? Presenter view, no, not that window. This one, your load balancer, and you get the IP from there. Or you get services as well. So, and this is very GKE specific, but don't worry, you will see similar stuff in AWS and GCP as well. So now once you do that, and then you deploy your application as normal, and you can do whatever you want. So that's all for the demo, and this code is available. You can hit it. The only thing which you need to change when you are deploying the application is this variable called project. This should be a valid project. Please make sure that you do the right one, or else it won't work, because Guru Playground is mine. You will not be authenticated and it won't work. This is the only thing you need to be done. And once you play with it, it will not cost you anything. Deploy the application and it should work. Make sure in the app, for example, the configuration here, you have to put a proper email. This will work, but please use yours. And also, one more thing is in the Kcert demo, make sure that the domain name is yours, is a domain which you own. This will not work for IP addresses. Yes, so make sure, I have put in a comment, make sure that you put in the proper domain name and create a demo service, which is what this service does. So make sure that you configure this one, and I have put everything in detail, and then you put in your exact or your own domain name, and that should be it. So that's all for the demo. Let us know, and we will now open. Can you share mail ID? Which email ID? You can put your own email ID, doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. Put your own email ID. My email ID is for me. It doesn't really matter. As long as you put any valid email ID, that should work. I hope this was a thing. So now comes the main part, which is the stopping the presentation and coming back to our session. So here we go, and we can invite other people. You can join this call if you want to, and we can work on it. If you have any questions, please join us. Do you have any questions, Akshay? Oh, congratulations, by the way, for becoming an uncle.
Okay, thank you, Guru. Thank you so much.
So, yeah. Do you have any questions? Yes. Okay.
Not right now, but let's wait.
Yeah.
You can join. Oh, yes.
Hello, Santosh. If you can turn on your camera and also your mic, that would be great, because you're mute and on camera off. Looks like Santosh is having a problem. Others can join as well if you want to. We will be finishing off in 5 minutes, because I have to go to a Python learning session from someone else.
Yeah.
So we will be finishing it in for 10 minutes. Sorry, 5 minutes. So any questions you have? Yeah. Okay. Hello, sir.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Guru sir.
Hello. Go ahead. Because Santosh came first, he should ask the question first. Yes, I think we should agree on that. Yeah?
Wanted to join.
Okay. Go ahead, Santosh. Ask your question. You're on mute, sir, by the way.
Till can, Imran, you can ask.
Your question if you want. I think Santosh is a bit stuck.
Yeah.
Yes, I was saying that I don't have any question as such.
Okay.
I just wanted to join and
Okay.
connect with you.
Okay, looks like Santosh. Yeah, here he is. Hello, Santosh.
Uh, Hi, sir. Sir, where we can get the code of this particular
Oh, yes. Thank you. Exactly the good question. Perfect question. And to see that, what I'm going to do is share my screen first. And I'm good. Okay, hold on. Let me share my screen first and show you the code, entire screen and the two-term one. And can you confirm if you're able to see the code? Sorry, see the screen.
According to gov.uk,
Yes.
2,250 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded
Alexa,
in
stop.
London as of the 31st of March 2023.
Alexa,
total,
stop.
there
Bloody Alexa. Right, and I'm going to make this into a public repository and make visibility. Where is it? Feature, issues, pull, archive, visibility, change visibility, make it to public. Yes, I have read these effects. Okay, I need to wait for authorization. Just give me a sec. Waiting. Come on. Looks like it's not come through. Don't worry. I will.
I wanted to ask that LetsEncrypt is a platform that provides SSL certification, right?
Sorry.
Certificate.
Just give me 1 minute, okay? So I have made this as public. It will become public, and this is the URL. I'm going to type it in the window. Yeah, this is the certificate, and this will come through in a minute. Okay. So I'm going to unshare, stop sharing. So just give me for some reason it's not sending the authorization, which is a bit weird. Let me see if I can make this as public. I want to make this as public. I have read, make respect, send SMS. Where is authorization code? Come on. Bloody mob. Okay, looks like I have got it. And 941-024. Yeah, and I have made this as public. So now, Santosh, can you hit this URL, the one which I have pasted in our chat window, and confirm that you're able to see the GitHub? You can fork it if you want to.
Yes, it's visible. I just opened it.
Oh, cool. Yes, see. So it's free of code. Yeah.
Yeah, it's visible. I also forked it.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Exactly. Yeah, please fork it. And the only thing you need to do is in the kcert.yaml, change the email address, and in the variables.tf, change the project name. That's it. Yeah,
Thank you.
everything else will work. And of course, your domain names and all, which is I have commented, it won't work for Agile Guru because I own the domain. You need to have a domain of your own, and that will work.
Yes.
Yeah, so make sure that you do that. Cool. Right. Any other questions?
Yeah, so I was asking that the LetsEncrypt is a platform which provides SSL.
Yeah, it is a consortium. It's not a private organization. It's an organization which is backed up by lots of companies, like all the major providers, and they give you SSL certificates for free. and it is supported by all browsers and all operating system, especially if you're using client certificates and all those kind of stuff.
Okay.
And it's totally free. And the only constraint is it will only give you certificates for 3 months or something, 3 months max. But the thing is, you can put this job into a cron job, but Kcert, the one which I have shown, before the certificate expires, like a month before, it will go and run it and renew it automatically. So you don't have to do anything. It's a one-time job. But if you're using DNS-based authorization, remember the Kcert over here uses web server authorization, so it will automatically do it. But if you're using scripts like certbot or something, then you have to do it manually, and it will check if you're playing with the system too much often, then it will say no. But it gives certificates based on one host names and also on wildcard. So you can have star.agileguru.org if you want. So you can have virtual host and all those things, and it is totally free. Go ahead, Santosh. You wanted to ask some question.
I just want to know that it is for 30, I think 90 days. So already you answered that thing.
Okay, yes. Yeah, it is for 90 days. But you can set up a cron job, and the thing is, 1 month before it expires, that's the email you provide. It will send you an email that your SSL certificate is expiring.
Okay.
So you will have 1 month to do. In my case, I don't have to do anything because Kcert will go and do it for you. So I don't have to do anything. Okay, there is a question from that positive. I have a question, Guru. I am a beginner in DevOps and with AWS. How can I get a job? Could you please guide? For this one, I would suggest this is not the right forum for today's one. I will talk about how to get the beginners and DevOps in a different session. I think we have to narrow down the scope. We are way about the time, and I hope Akshay, do you have any question from?
No.
Okay, so I guess Imran and Santosh, you don't have any more questions? No. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming to this session for other people, and I hope this was helpful and it can be used by other people. But as I mentioned, Kcert was created by, if you search for Kcert, Kcert, you will find a GitHub. It's by Napsul, a simple way of doing things. If you search for Kcert, he has given a very good tutorial on how to do it. But mine will be a simpler one. You don't have to do so much. He explains a lot, which of course is a thing. So in my video, you will see the Napsul's thing. So please make sure that you visit that site. Excellent tool, works very well, very nice install, and everything works. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for joining in. Of course, Akshay, once again, congratulations to the mom and dad, and you becoming, now you're officially an uncle. So now we all can call you an uncle. And thank you very much, guys. And I hope everyone who watches this video enjoys this session. And I hope to bring such more sessions on Agile Guru. Till then, take care and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir, for this session.
Okay then.
Thanks a
Bye.
lot, sir.
Bye.